Welcome back to the Two Witnesses Live, to your daily torment reports on the two witnesses and how they are tormenting the world. This is a new segment that we're doing. We're trying to update you every day on what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are saying and how that's impacting the world. It is our opinion here at Two Witnesses Live that we are in the end times. We're in about seal number 4, looking for seal number 5 to be opened probably in February of 2026. More on that in another video. But our goal here is to amplify and monitor the prophecy of the two witnesses as they speak for 1,260 days. Now, if you're new to the channel and this is the first time you've ever heard of anybody dare to call Elon Musk and Donald Trump the two witnesses, well, you're in good company. It's not a common claim, right? Most people think it's Moses and Elijah. Well, Donald Trump is a builder. Moses was a builder. Elon Musk likes to mock people. Elijah liked to mock people. There you go. No, actually, it's based on data, considering where we are in the timeline. The too long didn't read for where we are in the timeline is the Revelation 12 sign, I believe, occurred on September 23rd, 2017, which is an anchor point into the scripture. It anchors something that was prophesied about in the future with certain events surrounding that day to our day and age, because there just so happened to be an alignment in the stars that matched the description from Revelation 1 and 2 that just doesn't happen very often. Later this week, we're going to actually be doing an update on our timeline. We've got additional information on just how rare that is. In this video, I'm going to go through and show all of the variations that people like to claim are the Revelation 12 sign and show you what they're actually missing and why they're not. So it's so rare that it only happens about every 6,000 years, which is an update. Previously, I used to say that I couldn't find it anywhere within 14,000 years, but I actually have found it. But I'll leave you on that until we have the timeline video done so that I can show you all the candidates and the ones that actually fit. The only one that actually fits, September 23rd, 2017. It's that rare. Anyway, that's when the timeline starts. The seals have been opening. Seal number 1 was most likely COVID and the pandemic, going forth, conquering, and to conquer. Seal number 2 was likely the Biden administration. He was given the power to take peace. And Operation Warp Speed was the great sword that was used on the entire world. Seal number 3, not famine, not global economy shifts. If you read Revelation 6, it says, in the midst of the 4 living creatures, I heard a measure of wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. The famine and the high prices and the inflation happens as a result of the first 4 seals being opened, not seal number 3 being open. Seal number 3 is actually it's actually the best way to describe it is the rider on the black horse is holding a yoke, which is an instrument used to combine the strength of 2 beasts. It just so happens that the United States and the United Kingdom fit those 2 beasts that were yoked together. And finally, seal number 4 was the Elocks of Flood, death followed by hell. October 7th was death, followed by hell when Israel responded. We have data backing all of this up. If you haven't seen it, the first video that you see when you come to our channel goes into a lot of depth and shows you the alignments in the stars and how we came to those conclusions. But all of that is given to you so that you can understand why it is that we make the claim that Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the two witnesses, because that puts us in seal number 4, meaning we've only got seals 5, 6, and 7 left. So when do the two witnesses show up, breathing fire and changing the weather and controlling the bugs and all that stuff, right? We're in that time. And with that, so that's your too long didn't read summary of where we are. I imagine you have 1,000 more questions. Hopefully I've piqued your interest. We do a lot of interesting research here and have some very interesting findings. It's not the same thing that you're going to find from other channels. And I can understand how you might have an issue with some of these claims because they sound crazy. I get it. I get it. I used to say Donald Trump and Elon Musk are the two witnesses as a joke, just to encourage conversation, to get people talking about the two witnesses. But as it turns out, we're in that right period of time. We're in probably seal number 4, according to the data, coming up on seal number 5, and the two witnesses need to be doing their thing. And it just so happens right now, Donald Trump and Elon Musk both have global platforms where they are spitting truth like fire from their mouth every day and pissing people off, which brings us to our daily torment reports. First off, we have Donald Trump, and we're doing a little experiment here. We're working with Grok to give us our daily update. So, Grok, give us your update on Donald Trump.
Hey there, folks. This is Sal, and I've got the latest on what Donald Trump's been posting on Truth Social today, August 4th, 2025, pulling from posts shared on X by @TrumpDailyPosts and TrumpsTruth.org for the most current updates. Let's jump in with what's been stirring on his feed, keeping it straightforward and conversational, like we're unpacking scripture in plain terms, clear as day. Trump kicked off early at 7:32 a.m. Eastern with a jab at Senator Elizabeth Warren, calling her a loser and bringing up his old Pocahontas nickname, claiming she lied about Native American heritage. He doubled down on this later at 10:32 a.m. with a reposted image of the same attack, and again at 10:43 a.m., urging CNBC to ask Pocahontas the real questions. He's not letting that one go. By 9:03 a.m., he was on the economy, claiming last week's jobs report was rigged to favor Democrats, with massive record-setting revisions to make Republicans look less successful. He promised an exceptional replacement and signed off with MAGA. Same time, he posted a graphic from the White House boasting negative net migration for the first time in 50 years, showing a Border Patrol agent scanning the desert, tying it to his immigration wins. At 10:19 a.m., he went after woke culture, praising Sydney Sweeney's American Eagle ad for selling jeans like hotcakes, while slamming Jaguar's disastrous woke ad, linking it to their CEO's resignation. He took shots at Bud Light and Taylor Swift, claiming her woke stance tanked her popularity after he called her out. "Being woke is for losers. Being Republican is what you want to be," he wrote. Classic Trump, mixing business, culture, and politics. At 10:29 a.m., he hit Warren again, saying he cut costs, especially energy and taxes, tremendously in 6 months, dismissing her claims on CNBC that costs are up. Then at 10:50 a.m., he turned to foreign policy, accusing India of buying Russian oil and reselling it for profit, ignoring Ukraine's plight. He vowed to raise tariffs on India, ending with his signature, "Thank you for your attention to this matter." In the afternoon, Trump got patriotic. At 1:05 p.m., he celebrated the Coast Guard's 235th birthday with a video of their operations, ships, choppers, rescues, and icy missions, captioned "Happy Birthday" to the United States Coast Guard. He reposted the immigration graphic at 1:17 p.m., hammering the negative net migration point. At 1:20 p.m., a video pushed ICE higher, noting $75 billion in new funding for 10,000 agents, showing arrests in action. He linked to join.ice.gov for recruitment. Finally, at 3:21 p.m., another Coast Guard birthday post, this time a graphic of Trump saluting a ship with "celebrating 235 years" in bold. Oh, and one more at 4:01 p.m., per TrumpsTruth.org, where he mentioned ordering 2 nuclear submarines to unspecified regions in response to Russia's former president, Dmitry Medvedev, warning words can have unintended consequences. That one's a bit vague, but classic Trump saber-rattling. That's the pulse of Trump's Truth Social today. Attacks on rivals, economic boasts, immigration wins, anti-woke rants, and military pride. Over a dozen posts, blending text, images, and videos, all with his high-energy, in-your-face style. Like a prophet sounding the alarm, he's rallying his base, clear as day. Stay tuned for more. This is Sal, signing off for now.
I call it Grok, but the personality is Sal. That's where the voice comes from. I actually missed a bunch of that stuff. It's so interesting having Grok do these updates rather than me doing the research on them and reading the updates, because there's stuff in here that I actually missed. I completely missed all his comments about Pocahontas. Like, I thought maybe Grok got it wrong and was hallucinating. But no, I found the tweets, the posts. He actually did say that stuff. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, that's the fire from the mouth. These people that would attack him, and he just like uses some crazy, like, dude's got some cojones, you know what I mean, to say that kind of stuff to these people. Like, who else but Trump? And man, does it torment people. I think it's really interesting that Grok says like a prophet, sounding the alarm. That's really interesting. It must be part of the personality that we're using, just because we're in the context of Two Witnesses Live. Let's try something. I want to try something else I want to ask. All right, Sal. So who has Trump tormented today?
Hey, today on Truth Social, Trump's been targeting his usual suspects with his sharp tongue, just like a prophet calling out the wayward, clear as day. First up, he hammered Senator Elizabeth Warren, calling her a loser and dragging out the Pocahontas jab at 7:32 a.m. and again at 10:32 a.m., accusing her of lying about her Native American heritage and dismissing her CNBC claims about rising costs. He even prodded CNBC at 10:43 a.m. to ask Pocahontas the real questions. Then, at 9:03 a.m., he went after the radical left Democrats and unnamed statisticians, claiming they rigged last week's jobs report to undermine Republican wins.
Okay,
At
thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else on your mind, or are we good for now?
We good for now. Thank you, Sal. I love it. That is freaking awesome. I mean, that's amazing. And you can ask it questions, and like, you have like the whole world of research at your fingertips, so you can like interact with this. All right, let's do Elon Musk here. Okay, here we go. All right, Sal, give us our update on Elon Musk.
Hey there. Let's dive into what Elon Musk's been up to on X today, August 4th, 2025, with a fresh report for the Two Witnesses Live. Folks, it's been a lively day on Elon's feed. Over 50 posts, brimming with energy, humor, and a deep push for creativity through AI. The spotlight's on Grok Imagine, XAI's new tool that's got everyone buzzing, and I'll unpack it all in about 3 to 5 minutes, keeping it clear as day, like a promise from Scripture. Let's go. Elon's practically dancing with excitement over Grok Imagine, which launched today, letting X Premium users create images in seconds and videos in about 17. He posted that all subscribers should have access soon, urging folks to update their Grok app. Picture this. He shared an animated SpaceX photo, engineers piecing together Starship under a cloudy sky, panels moving like they're alive. It's history brought to motion, and Elon's calling it a revolution for creative minds, plain and simple. He didn't stop there. His feed's a gallery of user creations. One standout's a glowing blue figure, a woman's face woven with energy tendrils, representing Stephen Hawking's quest to understand the cosmos. Elon loved it, replying same to echo that hunger for truth. Another was a sleek black and white sci-fi montage, cybernetic figures in an anime style, ending with a question about reality blurring with tech. Elon hinted Grok 4's Imagine will keep getting sharper, with upgrades coming fast. Now, Elon's got a playful side too. He shared a wild animation of a young guy, maybe a young Elon, rocking a massive blonde afro at a party, grooving with a straight face. The comments exploded with laughing emojis, and Elon tossed in plenty of ahs and self. Then there's his own creation, an angelic woman with white wings, glowing blue, in a bold fantasy pose, like something out of a heavenly vision. It's fun, it's vivid, and it shows anyone can spin their imagination into reality with Imagine. But it's not all laughs. Elon got serious, praising Grok 4's brainpower after a user showed it cracking complex C code in seconds with a full reasoning breakdown. He teased big upgrades like image-based coding and a dedicated Grok 4 code model, dropping this month. On a personal note, he cheered folks ditching Instagram, calling it the way, when a user announced they deleted their account.
Wow.
He also showed heart, reacting with a sad emoji to a tough UK asylum seeker story, and liking posts about family, like a user animating an old photo with their uncles or a kid's creative video. Elon didn't shy away from big ideas either. He teased Tesla's future, saying in 3 to 6 months, you might play video games while your car drives itself. And in a philosophical quip to Shivan Zilis, he said reality's like a video game with great graphics, but tutorials that drag on too long. He wrapped up pushing Premium Plus and Super Grok subscriptions for priority Imagine access, tying it back to XAI's mission, advancing human discovery like a light in the darkness. That's the pulse of Elon's X today, a mix of joy, tech breakthroughs, and a nod to deeper truths. It's like Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. Elon's got vision in spades. Thanks for tuning in to the Two Witnesses Live. Want me to dig deeper or try Imagine ourselves? Let me know, and stay blessed.
Wow. I love it. That's great. Proverbs 29:18, where there is no vision, the people perish. This is amazing. I mean, like think about it. You write something in X and then you can visualize it with Imagine. That's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't gotten access to it yet. But he did make a really good point. If you want to subscribe to any of X's versions, right now is a good time to do it because they're doing their summer special, 30% off. I just paid for the Premium Plus for an entire year and it saved a couple $100. It's pretty cool. And I'm sure if any of you out there have an issue with AI, let's talk about AI for a minute, right? Well, I've given this spiel a couple times before, but so here's the thing about XAI and Grok. It's in response to OpenAI's evil, right? So Elon Musk, if you don't know, funded OpenAI. He provided the seed funding for OpenAI with the framework that they were to keep it open source. And it was because he has known for a long period of time that AI could be dangerous. He said that it could be more dangerous than nuclear weapons. So, that's, in my mind, that's a prophet's vision. That's God showing him about something and then him doing something about it. So for a long time, he's been thinking about AI and how to defend against it. So his first attempt, unfortunately, gave birth to the evil monster that is OpenAI. If anything's going to be evil, it's going to be OpenAI. It's going to be OpenAI. What they've done is they've taken that money and they've turned it into a for-profit company. Elon said that it's like funding a company to save the rainforest, and instead of saving the rainforest, they turn around and harvest it and sell all the wood. So in response to that, he is building Grok to combat OpenAI. And the mission of Grok is to be maximally truthful. And that's why I'm using Grok for these instead of OpenAI, even though there, in some instances, OpenAI does produce better results. They've got a several-year head start on OpenAI, on XAI and Grok. But they're catching up very quickly. And in today's report, you heard him saying a lot of positive results from like their tests with Grok 4, and they're going to have some additional coding models and stuff like that. And if you're afraid that AI is going to take on a life of its own, or if it's possessed by some demon, stop listening to the haters about OpenAI. It's just a technology. So the simplest way that I can describe it is if you were to take, and a lot of you probably already know this, and it's obviously more complicated than this, but hopefully I can sway your fears as far as it taking on a life of its own. There's definitely something to be afraid of, but the way AI works is it's basically if you had a library of books and you condensed it down to 4 or 5 books, but those books were just full of sentences and numbers. And then there's an algorithm. So like say if you had Mary Had a Little Lamb and that showed up in 30 books in your library, you would condense it down to Mary Had a Little Lamb and just into one book and give it an assignment. And each one of the words in there would have correlations and relationships, so that when you put in a prompt and ask for Mary Had a Little, it would know that most likely the highest chance the next word is going to be lamb. That's literally AI in a nutshell. Is it takes a ton of language, condenses it down, reduces it down so that it's can be searchable, and things can be related and associated, and then it just uses percentages to determine what the next word is. So you may say Mary had a little, and it knows that the next word is going that there's a high likelihood that it's going to be lamb. That's AI in a nutshell. So it's literally math. It's maths. It's not an evil demon. It doesn't believe that it's God. If given the power and resources, it's not going to escape and do what Terminator did. No, and Elon's aware of this. This is why he's not afraid to build XAI, right? It's not because they're unleashing a demon or something that is capable of self-consciousness, is what he says. No, the danger is what people will do with it when you start putting AI in charge of. Well, his argument is it's the world's greatest propaganda machine because people are looking to AI for answers. And if it's lying to you, like show me a picture of George Washington and it gives you a black man, that's going to have such a catastrophic effect on society, which is one of the reasons why the mission behind XAI is to be maximally truthful. Which how they accomplish that, I don't know. But that's the reasoning behind using Grok and XAI is the mission. Not only do I believe that Elon Musk is one of the two witnesses currently, I could be swayed on that if you guys have, evidence up to the contrary. But that's the reason is it aims to be maximally truthful. But the thing is it could still hallucinate. It can still get stuff wrong because depending on how you prompt it, and how the model was trained, it will respond differently. And sometimes if you throw too much at it, then it just starts to guess. So there is weird things that happen. Anyway, so that's enough on the update. We're going a little bit too long here. I want to get you excited about some of the stuff that I'm working on. The Revelation 12 sign, I have some new information about that I'm preparing to share. And also seals 5, 6, and 7. I think I found them. I found a chiastic structure. There's a perfect symmetry, and it's pointing at certain dates that have eclipses. And I also have some new information about seal number 6, I think. So preparing a video with some nice illustrations for that. So that's coming soon, probably later in the week because I'm very busy this week. But really want to get this out because I'm excited to see the presentation myself. I'm excited to do the presentation, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. Anyway, you guys have any quick questions for me? AI needs to redevelop Tesla's free DC energy. What is truth? Truth, that's a good question. Everybody says that they speak the truth, right? What is truth? To me, my understanding of truth is what you can reproduce with a expected result, right? So when you distill things down to their baser elements, how can you repeat something? That's how you get to the truth. Because so often people will tell you they're speaking the truth, but if you test the things they say, there's no evidence behind it. It's literally just their words. I could do hours on that conversation. Anything else? Mary had a little lamb could potentially go against scripture if you weighed the statement against kind, bringing forth kind. Hilarious. All right, guys. Well, let's keep it short. This is your update. This is your Torment, your daily Torment report. I am Watchful signing off. Look forward to talking to you guys again tomorrow. Maybe we'll do one earlier. We'll start doing, I really want to get towards doing 2 of these a day. Do the daily Torment report in the evening and maybe just like a latest news during the day. I feel like I'm missing out on the news. But we want to keep these short. So thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Watchful. Grok joined us today as Sal. If you like this content, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification, and make sure you comment down below if you have any questions or comments about the stuff that was shared today. God bless you and shalom, shalom.